Cool FM Live, I'm Todd Ryan here at Native Grill and Wings in Sierra Vista. A few months ago, Native Game Night had its 500th episode. And this Wednesday, November 5th at 6:30 p.m., Native Game Night will celebrate its 10-year anniversary at Native Grill and Wings here. And Jai Roca, to our left, is here to talk with Jeff Davenport about this momentous occasion. Jai, you were actually the manager here at Native when this all began to now become the most popular active trivia night in the state of Arizona. Take it away, Jai.
Hey, thank you, Jeff, or thank you, Todd.
It's really easy to get us confused. I understand.
It's the voice. It's not a real occasion when Jeff is on the opposite end of the microphone and we get to pick at his brain a little bit. He's not only the man of Native Game Night, he is the host to countless events in the Sierra Vista and Cochise County areas.
And Tucson and Phoenix, but who's counting?
And so it's just a privilege to be sitting right back here. 10 years of Native Game Night, Jeff. Wow. Did you think we'd get here?
I didn't think it would last 10 minutes. I mean, it's actually more full in here right now at lunchtime than it was on that Wednesday, November 4th, 2015, when I walked in here for the second or third time, but the first time to start the very first Native Game Night. And there was this one young kid who came up to me. He's wearing his hat all funny on his head, and he said, "Man, Jeff, this is so exciting. This is going to be the greatest thing ever. Oh my gosh, it's going to be huge. It's going to be the biggest thing, and it's going to be so awesome. And I'm so excited you're here." And I looked at him, and I looked around the restaurant, and I thought, yeah, this is going to be nothing. What event starts right before the holiday season and ends up 10 years later? You know, even less than 3 months later, the Herald was already writing articles on us, and the impact we were able to make right away was unbelievable. And now, literally, over 500 episodes, as Todd said, then 10 years later, I can't believe it. There's so many people to thank about this. Number one is my wife, Leah, who ends up coming to this thing every week. She keeps the score and does a great job. I want to thank Marcus, the original owner of Native Grill and Wings, for coming up with this concept, and then of course for Jared keeping it. As he took over in 2019, he was here in the beginning as it started, and then went to Phoenix, and then came back to purchase this branch here of Native Grill and Wings, and for him to keep doing it was something really, really special. And for all the people who have ever come to Native Game Nights at any point over these last 10 years, we can never thank you enough. To all the wild card sponsors, that was something that kind of got shifted into the mix as we continued to grow and expand different opportunities and things like that. But right here at this location, at this Native Grill and Wings, something special was born 10 years ago, and I don't even know how to express my gratitude and thankfulness for all those people, the thousands and thousands of people, the social media followers, the people who've taken that certificate literally around the world to make all 7 continents, to make that silly Native Game Night certificate something that people love winning,
You don't just bring the energy for Native Game Night, you bring the energy to our community. So thank you, Jeff.
No, thanks, Jeff.
I want to get into the nitty-gritty, if that's okay with you, Jeff. Let's go run into it a little bit. Obviously, you just talked about how Native Game Night started, but you've been hosting for a little over a decade now, right?
11 years, yeah.
And over the 10 years of Native Game Night, how has the show evolved for the evening? What are some milestones that have changed it? It started just live in person. Now you've got a whole online following every Wednesday night. I watch it from my couch sometimes. And it's very interactive. People are doing that. But talk about the evolution of Native Game Night as it's grown from that first one with, probably 2 or 3 teams back in the day.
That's what it was, yeah.
And now you've got to get on a wait to come into Native on a Wednesday night. It's their biggest night of the week, obviously. I mean, talk about that evolution for us for a second.
The main evolution was coming up with how many questions are we going to ask, because in the beginning I didn't think this would last, so I was like, I'll just ask questions until I'm tired. And then Leah and I, once we figured out that this was going to be something that we would do every week, and it was like, well, what's a good number of questions? And we thought 12, and we've always, so since then we've done the 12 questions. I think the next evolution along the way was being able to incorporate these wild card sponsors. That was something that was really special too. So like there's local businesses that thankfully, and this was all Jared too. Jared has been such a huge part of this thing, not just from the beginning, but since 2019 forward, where one of the regulars from Native Game Night, he was Steve Hunter, who's a local realtor. He said, Jeff, I want to give you a little extra money, and then buy a couple of extra certificates that you can like draw out of a hat for just wild card winners. And I'm like, oh, that'll never work. And of course, lo and behold, it's like the greatest thing ever. And so every week there's different businesses who are wild card sponsors. And my wife ends up making them either a mug or a tumbler or something that has the native Game Night logo on it, and being able to use that as a gift to them for being able to purchase a few extra certificates for wild card winners and things like that. Just being able to interact with people, like you said, probably one of the other big momentous occasions happened when I got on social media. So the first couple years of Native, I didn't have social media.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have Instagram or Facebook, and then eventually ended up getting both of those.
Did you start going live during COVID?
It was, yeah.
I didn't. COVID.
Yeah. As we were working together on that, because I thought, okay, well, even during COVID, I can say it is the longest running trivia night in the state of Arizona. We've done it every Wednesday night. I mean, obviously, if there was a Christmas Eve there, we didn't do it on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. But we've done it on New Year's Day. We've done it on New Year's Eve. We've done it on. We do every Wednesday before Thanksgiving. That's our big one. The Wednesday before Thanksgiving edition of Native Game Night's a big one. The Halloween one, the Wednesday before Halloween, that's always a big one, which we just had last week. So I mean, being able to evolve with that and use social media as a live interactive tool during COVID when the restaurant here was shut down for 8 weeks, and nobody really knew at the time. I mean, if you remember back then, we didn't know how to respond correctly or what to do, but we did the best that we could with the situation. And I just decided, okay, well, we'll take some of the Native Game Night Hall of Fame teams, we'll invite them over to my house, and we'll go live from my house every Wednesday at 6:30. And then you came up with the great idea of, hey, every Wednesday people can watch you online live. And if they come in and get their order to go, use the code Native Game Night to get 20% off or something like that during that COVID period, which was a great idea too, and so much fun for the interaction. I mean, that was back in the day when it was before Cool FM was around. So I mean, or before Cool FM was Cool FM at least. I don't remember exactly when you got here, Todd. Was that 2020 or 2019?
It was earlier than that.
It was about 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So around that time.
Yeah, so it was right around that time, but I mean, so like, it wasn't a massive platform that could get word out about things like that. So I mean, we were just doing what we did or doing what we could with what we had. And ever since then, we decided, all right, we're just going to go live every Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. right here in the restaurant. So that was another big evolution too, to incorporate people who can't make it for whatever reason, just to have them interact and fun like that.
Even back in the day with Native Game Night, we have such an influx of military personnel through Sierra Vista, and you can kind of watch that. You've got fans around the world for Native Game Night. You've got people tapping in from all over the country to check out the 12 questions and those 5-point answers. And I don't do it anywhere as near as good as you. But just the consistency of it, the project that you have to undertake, it's a lot, and what was the deciding factor of like, hey, we're just going to do this every Wednesday? It's a giant task to take on, having new questions every week, keeping the audience entertained, keeping them captivated. Was there something specific that was like, yep, we're just going to do this and not cancel for any reason?
It was. It was actually happened in the second week we did it, because the first week that we did it was, it was Wednesday, November 4th, 2015. And, we came in and looked around, and there was this one exciting guy, really excited that we were there, and he saw what we did not at the time. And I actually called Marcus, the original owner of this restaurant. And I said, "Hey man, this is great. I think it does have potential, but I think you need a real DJ with lights, bells, whistles, music, smoke. You need all the smoke and mirrors. You need all the excitement, something like that. So here's the number of a guy I know. Why don't you give him a call, and he'll do this." And then on Tuesday, November 11th, 2015, Marcus called me frantically saying, Jeff, tomorrow's Veterans Day, and it's our first Veterans Day being open because this restaurant opened in the summer of 2015. For those who don't know, Native has been here since the summer of 2015 when it opened up here in Sierra Vista. And it was their first Veterans Day, and Veterans Day that year in 2015 happened to fall on a Wednesday. And just like a lot of other restaurants do in the community, they want to do free meals for the veterans. You know, they have the menu for the veterans that they can come in and order whatever they want. And Marcus called and said, Jeff, I haven't gotten in touch with the guy hasn't called me back. You know, you gave me his number. He hasn't called me back. So I need to know, can you come in one more time? We want to expose people to the trivia night and let them know that this is going to happen every Wednesday. And can you come back and just do it for me one more time? And I said, sure, you know, we'll do it for you one more time. And there were more people, obviously, on a Wednesday where there's free meals. There was many more people coming in that particular Wednesday. And that was when I realized that I didn't need to be the center of attention physically. All I needed to be the center of attention was just audibly over the microphone and talking to the people. And that night, as Leah and I drove home, we both discussed it and said, I think we can make this work. Just by my voice, you know, and if my voice is not as captivating, is not enough to captivate the people inside the restaurant, then I'm not the entertainer I think I am. If I need the bells, the whistles, the lights, the smoke, the music, if I need that, then I'm not the entertainer I think I am. And I know what I can bring to the table. And it was that night that I texted Marcus and I let him know I think we want to do this. And he came up with a very generous weekly stipend for us for our time, and that sealed the deal. And I looked at Leah and I said, we will be doing this the rest of our lives. Jokingly, not thinking of the last 10 years at all. Not thinking at all it would be this long.
I think you missed a Native game night to go to like Europe for a Cardinals.
It was twice, yeah. It was in 10 years. I've missed 2 Wednesdays. One was in 2017 for the Cardinals game in London, and then in 2019 we took a trip to Italy, and so I missed those 2. I think I had somebody fill in. One time, actually hosting the game night himself. I gave him all the information and all the stuff, you know, because we get the questions come from a Phoenix-based outlet that provides trivia night material for all sorts of different styles of trivia night. Ours is a Family Feud style. If you've never been here on a Wednesday at 6:30, don't be intimidated by the word trivia. It's a Family Feud game night here at Native every Wednesday at 6:30. But then I think the second time they did karaoke or something like that, or something else that one Wednesday that we were gone. But yeah, I've done this for 5 times as many years, 5 times as many years as times that I've missed. So it's like, okay, that's pretty weird to think about.
You've built definitely an online audience. You built an audience here in the building. What makes Native Game Night different than just your regular like bar game atmosphere? I mean, you've got the consistency from the fans.
Yeah.
It is a huge deal for Native. It's definitely been prosperous. Otherwise, they wouldn't continue to have it to today. What makes this so different, so unique? If somebody hasn't made it to a Native Game Night, how would you say, come on in, because this is your only chance. This is the game night all week that everybody waits for.
There's several trivia nights throughout the week. I just started hosting another one myself a year and a half ago. So, I mean, there's so many different options and choices. Well, not many, but I mean, there's a couple different options and choices throughout the week. I think the thing that sets Native Game Night apart, like you said, is the consistency, and it is the audience, the Native Game Night universe, that we coined all those years ago, and just them coming in the middle of the week on a Wednesday night. That Marcus picked the day of the week. Marcus picked the time. Marcus picked everything. And back in October of 2015, and everything he said, I said, "Oh, that'll never work." Well, Jeff, we want to do it on Wednesday nights. That'll never work. We want to start at 6:30 p.m. Oh, that'll never work. Don't worry about it. That'll never work. And I love telling that story because I love being proven wrong. But it's all about the audience and the people who invest their time, especially during times like this. You know, we've seen different economic cycles. We've gone through COVID. We've done all sorts of different adjustments along the way, and but at the end of the day, I'd like to think that we've contributed to the fun of interacting with each other. I never had the privilege of working in a restaurant growing up. I always worked retail. So I didn't understand the dynamic of a restaurant until you guys taught me. You, Marcus, Jared, you guys, I was able to watch and see the interaction between management servers. Okay, you know that interaction is there. Watching the interaction between management servers and guests who are here. But Native Game Night kind of took it up a level where now guests were interacting with guests, and they became friends, and they ended up becoming buddies or like, somebody, oh, you got the 5-point answer on that one. Oh, I was so close or whatever. And I mean, through the years, we've seen Native Game Night weddings. I've gotten to do the trivia night at people's wedding receptions. And I mean, we've seen them have children. The newest member of the Native Game Night universe was just a month old a couple weeks ago, and coming in here with their beautiful family. And so we celebrate these things. These are things that they're celebrated amongst the people in the Native Game Night universe and shared on social media to the world.
And there's kids that come in here every week with their parents that you've just watched grow up.
It's true.
And Native Game Night is just like that family activity.
Yeah. I think that's the other part of it too. That's just a great point because it is family friendly, and we do our best. It's like, okay, well, people want to make some funny answers. We always keep it no more than PG-13. It's never anything over that. It's still fun and funny for the people who get the inside jokes, but it is a very family friendly atmosphere where even teams of kids can actually come up with some great answers and end up winning the coveted Native Game Night gift certificate every week.
And just kind of going out there, you've said you've done Native Game Night at weddings, so kind
receptions, not the wedding itself, but at wedding receptions.
But
let's dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to play Native. No, we don't do that. But.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered for the 5-point answer. The kind of a two-part question.
Sure.
What is the most unique trivia setting that you've had the option to do trivia at? On the other end, what is probably like one or two of your favorite questions over the years? Not to put you on the spot, but you've got to have a couple that just really stand out that when it came across your desk, you were like, oh man, what? Yeah, this is.
There's a couple that come to mind. Yeah. So the different places that we've done it over the years, we've literally done it on the streets of Douglas, Arizona, like on the street. We were doing it for a big festival that they were doing on G Avenue a couple years ago that my friend Ralph hooked us up with at the Douglas Business Network, which is absolutely awesome. It was so much fun doing that outdoors. We've taken it on the road and done the Native Game Night experience. It's not an official Native Game Night unless it's Wednesday at 6:30 here, but it's the Native Game Night experience that you can experience at a wedding reception for friends who ended up meeting here and getting married, and doing it at different locations across the state, up in Phoenix and all across Tucson at different corporate events and things like that, which we've done team building events for businesses when they don't come here to do a team building event. They have it on their own time and their own schedule. Being able to go and do it there is always a lot of fun. And it's funny you mentioned specific questions. There is usually we get invited back to these different places. So I do have a set of, these 12 questions were really great. I'm going to save these. I'm going to put them aside and use them when a big special event comes up that we go away to go do. And a couple of those stacks we've rotated through recently for the events and corporate events that we've done the Native Game Night experience at. Probably one of my favorite questions was 100 people surveyed. At the end of the day, name something that Indiana Jones puts away in his closet. And 100 people surveyed. What might that be? That's just one that comes to mind because it always comes down to usually you guys are all already thinking right now. Well, it's going to be he's got his gun, he's got a treasure, but the 4 and the 5-point answer. I can't remember which one is which, but it was the hats, the fedora, or the whip. And that's one of the favorite questions, and that's an example of what the questions are like. It's a Family Feud style, 100 people surveyed, and you have to come up with what the 5-point answer might be.
Over the years, you've got Native Game Night under your belt. There is not a host in Sierra Vista. To those of you out there that are hosting events in Sierra Vista, we're not knocking you.
No, they're fantastic. I can't be everywhere.
We've got Jeff Davenport. He's a legend when it comes to hosting events, from helping with the Sheriff's Ride to Glow Ride to being on Cool FM every week to even on the radio. You've got this great radio personality too. And as you've grown, how has Native Game Night impacted the overall landscape of Jeff Davenport, the host?
Oh, it's the anchor, because I don't host anything as consistently as Native Game Night, other than the new trivia night, at Fridays at 6 over at High Heat, which is a real trivia night, Trivial Pursuit style trivia night, different than this one. No, it's the anchor of our week. We've literally, we talked about missing 2 Native Game Nights in 10 years, doing this every Wednesday night for 10 years, over 500 episodes, as Todd said at the very beginning, and we literally planned a Hawaiian vacation around Native Game Night early on, like in the early years, where we flew out on a Thursday and flew home on a Tuesday so we could be here on Wednesday. And I mean, that's how important it is to us. We love the people here. I liken it this way. As Jai mentioned, I'm on the radio, KKYZ 101.7 FM, got radio stations all across the state of Arizona. That's the primary one here in Sierra Vista. I talk to thousands of people a day on the radio. My wife works for Pueblo del Sol Dental, the greatest dental office. No offense if you work for another dental office. I'm sure yours is great, but my wife's is the best. At Pueblo del Sol Dental, she sees hundreds and hundreds of patients a week. But there are people who have become some of my best friends that I never would have met had it not been for Native Game Night. And with all the interactions that I have in the community, if it wasn't for Native Game Night, I would have missed out on meeting some of the closest friends that I've met in my life. And that's why this is so important to me. It's not just a paycheck. It's not just to come here and get a check and go through the motions. It never is. It's always exciting. It's always fun. It's fun to have new people come in and experience it for the first time. And it's great having people who've literally been here almost all 10 years to be a part of this experience. And, again, I can never, thank my wife enough. I can never thank Marcus enough. I can never thank Jared enough, and Jai for all his support in the early years. And then, thanking the Native Game Night universe, all the wild card sponsors who've come forward. Oh, I forgot another change that we made along the way. You talked about the little milestones that came along the way. Somebody came up, one of the Native Game Night universe members said, hey, what about the final 3 questions? You double the value of the points, because at a certain point, people are going to be out of being in the top 3. And that was something that Marcus said. We don't want 1 winner. We want 3 winners every single week. And so if you double the points, the last 3 questions, then that increases chance. People can say, okay, I could still be in it and still win. That was another big one. I can't believe that slipped my mind. And that came from crowdsourcing. It came from the Native Game Night universe, that idea. And so, the Native Game Night universe has helped adapt this along the way with doubling the final 3 questions, with the wildcard sponsors, which increases everybody's chance of winning a certificate and making it fun. So
kind of wrapping it up and getting close to the bottom end right here. Just remember that the 10th anniversary of Native Game Night is at 6:30 this Wednesday, so don't miss it. Pack this house, come in. But we can't talk about trivia night without giving you guys some trivia nuggets from Jeff Davenport himself. So just pay attention to this last little piece right here. I just learned something brand new about Jeff. You weren't supposed to be a host. You went to college for something completely different. Are you willing to share that with your Native Game Night audience?
Most of my friends know. Yeah, I went to college to be a physician's assistant. I went to be a PA. And my degree is in human biology, and got it from Grand Canyon University, Go Lopes, in December of 1998. It took me 4.5 years to get my degree, which little bit longer than normal. But got that degree and did terrible on my GREs. And I thought, I'll work in radio for a year. I'll go back to graduate school, and then I'll be a PA. And I was very fortunate that. My radio career now, literally, 26. It'll be 27 years in January that I have found a career. Well, I didn't find the career. The career found me. My career found me. Most people have to find out what their career is or find out what they're going to do. What I was going to do found me. It was not in my plans. It was not in my immediate future, and so I'm certainly living proof that sometimes your path will find you, and your career will find you. So if you're out there and you're thinking, I don't know what I'm going to do, I don't know how it's going to work out, I can tell you I didn't know either. And I'm fortunate. I'm blessed. I'm very blessed that my career found me, and being in this radio entertainment career has led to so many different things in my life, from meeting Sheriff Mark through his wife. It was his wife who I met. I met Nikki first, and then she said, "I think Sheriff Mark would like to meet you." The sheriff wants to meet me, and then I started emceeing things with Sheriff Mark in 2014, and that was where Marcus met me in September of 2014, or September of 2015, and he said. He met me at an event called Sizzle that the Kiwanis put on for many, many years. Those of you who've been around a while, you remember the Sizzle events. And Marcus came up to me that night and said, "Hey, man, we just opened this restaurant, Native Grill and Wings." And I was like, "Oh, I heard of that place." And he goes, I think we want to do a trivia night. We want you to be, I think you'd be a great game show host." And I'm like, "That'll never work." And the rest is history. We met in October 2015, started at Wednesday, November 4th, 2015. And so tomorrow is technically the anniversary, but it's always marked on the first Wednesday of November. It's observed. The anniversary is observed on the first Wednesday in November, and it just happens to fall on Wednesday, November 5th this year. And for all the years of doing this, I still can't comprehend it.
You've credited your wife as your cornerstone. I want to shoot off some fun Jeff facts for you. And I'm going to let him share them. So this is your guys' answers to your Jeff Davenport trivia answers.
People are like, I still don't even know who he is. He looks like dollar store Christian Slater, so I don't know.
You and your wife, how long have you guys been married?
It'll be 27 years in December. So yeah, 27 years in December.
What is the most fun you've had at an event that you've hosted? What was the event?
Gosh, every event we do is unique, and it has its own flavor and personality. And I'm trying to think what would be the best. I don't even know. It's almost trying to say who your favorite kid is, because every event is great. I'd have to think about that one to say which one would be the most special. Obviously, doing it at a wedding reception, that's sacred. For someone to say, "Hey, we want you, because the trivia night means so much to us, we want you to do the trivia night at our wedding reception," and I kind of tailored it to them, sort of, in a Family Feud way that you could do and still make it open to everybody. It wasn't trivia about the couple; it was saying a fact about a couple that led to a general Family Feud style trivia question. So those times have been very, very special. But
all right, and then last trivia question that I know everybody is curious about. How do you get your hair to always stay the same? It does not move. Jeff.
Oh, gosh. No, that's not true. You can look back at the photos. Just scroll through the Native Game Night Instagram feed, and you'll see the hair on certain nights. Actually, you talk about certain nights. I remember certain nights where there was a big monsoon that came through and knocked out all the TVs. The AC was out, and the place was completely packed on a Wednesday night. I don't know if you remember that night, but it was just bonkers, and my hair just went completely crazy. It does that, When you only have a little bit of hair, it's easy to work with. So I wish I could say I had a great bunch up here. I don't. So I just try to cover the flesh-colored yarmulke that keeps forming on the crown of my head with what little that I have. So it's nothing more than just a little hairspray every now and then it just goes crazy. And I think #CrazyHair.don't care.
Is there anything special happening for the 10th anniversary of Native Game Night that you want to share with Cool FM? And we can let everybody go and study up for Native Game Night Wednesday.
Well, every Wednesday morning, I always post one of the 12 questions. So you'll see one of the 12 questions on my social media, Native Game Night on Instagram. Would love for you to follow Native Game Night on Facebook, Jeff Davenport on Facebook. I've got 10,000 followers and friends through that. This Wednesday, I'm excited and honored to say that our mayor will be here to do a proclamation for it, which is something that is so special to me that he would take time out of his schedule. He is a friend, full disclosure, but it's still very kind of him to do that at my request. They're like, "Hey man, would this be something you'd want to do?" And he's like, "Absolutely." And so looking forward to that. We do have special treats for everybody with certain brand new stickers that have Native Game Night 10 on them. Those will be revealed on Wednesday as well. And I hear some guy who was there on the very first one will be there on the 10th one, and I'm excited about Jai being here. And then Todd told me something. I'll just throw the microphone back to Todd because Todd wanted to say something that I guess Cool FM is going to be doing for the 10-year anniversary of Native Game Night. Todd, I'll that back over to you.
Well, we wanted to give $100 prize, and you can just figure out how do you want to use that $100 to be a part of that special night on Wednesday as well too, Jeff. And I don't know if Jai, you had something that you had planned on offering.
We'll be giving out 2 registrations to SV Glow Ride coming December 20th.
Yeah.
So we'll have 2 registration codes that we're going to be giving out at Native Game Night. Also, we're going to be giving away a party package where you can get a kid's jumping castle for your kid's birthday. So
and for those of you who are in the know who come to Native Game Night, there might be more than just 4 wild card draws coming up on Wednesday as well. So a lot of reasons, for people to come out. And again, I understand that we're in one of those cycles right now where money might not be as free flowing for people. They might not have a lot of secondary income, and it's totally okay. When your job comes back, when the government reopens, we'd love to see you back here. It doesn't have to be this Wednesday. It can be any Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. We're always here. I know that you're like, well, are you going to be there on Christmas Eve? Because Christmas Eve is on a Wednesday this year. No, we won't. We want these people to have all the employees to spend time with their families on Christmas Eve. So that will be one that we won't have any, but we will be here New Year's Eve. We'll do it New Year's Eve. What better way to say goodbye to 2025 and welcome 2026 and a little Native Game Night. But again, that's how we roll. So again, if you're going through a difficult time right now, I promise you, I am praying for you and your families and just hoping that everything gets resolved, that the government will reopen in the very near future. I'm grateful for all of the businesses and community partners that are doing things to help those who are going through that time right now. But if you're able to make it on Wednesday at 6:30, it's going to be a heck of a lot. It'll just be a usual Native Game Night, other than the fact that, hey, we honor it and celebrate it. And maybe I'll be all dressed up for the occasion, like it's the Oscars or something like that. But it should be. Every Wednesday is special. I treasure every moment to spend with the Native Game Night universe, and hopefully you can see that and feel that through the social media that we have. And I'm grateful to Todd for this time. Thank you, Todd, for doing this. Thanks, Jai, for coming up with these questions. Great questions here, and looking forward to seeing everybody. And anybody and everybody who's able to make it on Wednesday at 6:30. I know there's a lot of sporting events going on for kids too, so it's like a lot of people, it's in that season where it's like, oh, I can't come, but when my kids' soccer's over, the kids' football's over, then we'll be back, and that's fine too. We'll be here for you. All thanks to Jared here, the owner of Native, and again for his the friendship that we have. I'm grateful for it, and grateful for the partnership that we've been able to establish and continue for 10 years. I mean, the Native Game Night is now officially as old, well, coming up on Wednesday, is now officially as old as the restaurant itself, because the restaurant started just a couple months before Native Game Night did. So it's pretty special, very unique. And I'm excited for what's going to happen this Wednesday and every Wednesday, and excited to talk to you about it. So thank you, Jai. I appreciate it, buddy.
Thank you for everything that you do in the community, from hosting events to hosting Native Game Night. The impact that has on just local restaurants, like a restaurant like this. Native Game Night has paid a couple of people's paychecks and kept the lights on for years, and it'll continue to do it for years to come. Through the events that Jeff is hosting, they make a huge impact in the community, whether it's morale or fundraising and things like that. So really the job of a host is never done, but you'll have to come back and check him out Wednesday at 6:30 Native Game Night.
Todd, you want to sign off, man? Here, I'll let Todd do that with that microphone right there.
There you go. Sounds good. Come on out, folks, this Wednesday, November 5th at 6:30 here at Native Grill and Wings in Sierra Vista. A big momentous occasion, 10-year anniversary. We'd love to see you celebrate with Jeff Davenport. Thank you so much, Jeff, and congratulations to you, my friend. And we'll see you Wednesday night.